Good morning and thank you for joining with me today. In his hour of need, a criminal hanging on the cross saw some hope in Jesus and he said to him, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus turned and said to him, "Today you'll be with me in paradise." This promise of Jesus is that there is something beyond this life. I can't draw you a picture of it. I know it can't be proved scientifically, so instead of trying to prove it, I simply want to affirm what I've come to believe over the years. I believe there is a heaven, and I believe there will be a reunion. Sometimes in a bereavement situation, people say, "Do you believe that I'll ever see him or her again?" And they never ask if heaven's streets are paved with gold. They never ask about pearly gates. What they want to know is, will they see their loved one again? And I don't know if I can explain it, but I believe that who we are and what we are will survive the death of our bodies. I believe in heaven you will still be you and I will still be me. Heaven would be a big disappointment if we could not see those that we love again. I don't believe it's a place we can find on the map or see through a telescope. I simply believe it's a place where we're going home. I like the story of the old minister who spent 50 years in one church. He was not just a minister, he was their friend. And there was never a time when he would not go out and be with one who was walking through a dark valley. There was never a time when he would not go out and help a drunken husband home to his wife and children. He was the one that sought out in trouble. He was the one whom they called to perform their marriages and to baptize their children. He was the one that comforted them when they had to bury a loved one. They loved him as much as he loved them. One Sunday morning, it was time for the church and he was not there. As he grew older, sometimes he would sleep in, but he was never that late. Finally, Andrew the blacksmith went to the door of the manse to remind him it was time for church. He knocked, there was no answer. He pushed the door open and he found the old fellow, head resting on an open Bible. He walked back to the church and down the aisle to the front of the congregation, and he took off his hat and with tears in his eyes he said, "There will be no service today." "Why not?" somebody said. "Where's the minister?" "He's gone," Andrew said softly. "He's gone home." And on his gravestone they simply engraved the words of the blacksmith. Gone home. You and I will one day pass through the same gates. And God help us if we could be like the Apostle Paul and be able to say, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race and remain faithful." God help you and I as we try to do just that. And again, thank you for listening to me today.